121 people voted for their favorite episodes of The Mandalorian, and in this video, I will reveal the ranking of all 16 chapters. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you've seen my ranking, reveal videos before, I'm doing this one a little different. I'm doing it unscripted, try something new, and I'm not going to read, each individual point total every time, because I feel like kind of makes it a little boring. If you don't care about how the point totals were tallied for each chapter, then just skip to this timestamp, but I'm going to spend a minute or so explaining how it works. So the way the Google form worked, where people voted, was that you would vote for your 8 favorite chapters. You couldn't vote for all 16, you would just vote for your 8 favorite. And the way each chapter's point total is tallied depends on how many votes the episode got and in which place the vote was casted in. So the way it worked was a first place vote would be worth 8 points, a second place vote would be worth 7 points, a third place vote would be worth 6 points, a 7th place vote would be worth 2 points, and an 8th place vote would be worth 1 point. So basically what I did was for each chapter, I just tallied them all up, counted the amount of first place votes multiplied by 8, all the way through, and that was the point total for each chapter. So say hypothetically a chapter had 3 first place votes, 4 second place votes, 2 third place votes, 5 fourth place votes, 6 fifth place votes, 1 third place vote, 1 sixth place vote, 3 7th place votes, and 2 8th place votes, then the point total for that chapter would be 124 if you do the math. So that's how it works. So now let's begin. In last place, by the way, I have the 5 tiers. Let me scroll down quickly. Whoop. In last place, with an abysmal 13 points and only 4 total votes, which is awful, we have Chapter 5, The Gunslinger. I feel like most people agree this is probably the worst episode. It's actually not my least favorite. You'll see which is my least favorite in a second. But yeah, most people agree this is pretty much the bad one. And it's, by the way, it's the only episode that I have in this bottom tier in terms of the point totals. In 15th place, with 54 points, we have Chapter 10, called The Passenger. By the way, I have the results here on my iPad. It's just easier for me to read it off here than have it on a separate screen, go back and forth all the time. So yeah, this had 54 points. Chapter 10 is in 15th place. Now in 14th place, with 55 votes, so only one more point, 55 points. And with only one more point than the previous one, we have Chapter 4, called Sanctuary. This is actually my least favorite episode. Chapter 5 is a little more tolerable. I'm not really a big fan of Chapter 4, but it's fine at least. I mean, I don't think any of these episodes are genuinely bad. But yeah, in 14th place, we have Chapter 4. In 13th place, I can't speak. In 13th place with 71 points, we have Chapter 2, The Child. It's a little bit of a jump from 14th place. We got 16 more points. This episode was a fun episode. It has Quill. Quill's my favorite character in the entire series. I love Quill. So yeah, this is in 13th place. In 12th place, with 102 votes, so we're now in the middle category. So with 102 points, we have Chapter 12, titled The Siege. This was a fun episode. I feel like I feel like from here on out, all these episodes are pretty good. Chapter 12 was kind of filler, but I had a lot of fun with it. I don't know, especially the little dogfight at the end I thought was a lot of fun. So yeah, in 12th place is Chapter 12. In 11th place, with 105 votes, so just above it, we have Chapter 6, The Prisoner. Chapter 6 is one of my favorite episodes. I just have a lot of fun with it. It's kind of filler, but I have a lot of fun with this episode. It is a great episode to me. And I love watching it. I love the characters, especially the Twi'lek chick. I wish we got her again. But it was a fun episode for me. In 10th place, with 131 points, we have Chapter 7, The Reckoning. Whoop. These tier things are so confusing. So I just have to go like this. So Chapter 7 is in 10th place. This episode probably has the best death scene in Quill. I love Quill. Sad to see him go. But yeah, this is Chapter 7 in 10th place. In 9th place, with 148 points, we have chapter 1, The Mandalorian. There we go, now it works. Things are so weird. So yeah, this is the pilot. It doesn't really have a title, so I'm just gonna call it The Mandalorian. I think it's a great pilot, and the fact that it's such a good pilot and it's a middle tier just shows how good the rest of the series is. By the way, the last 8 episodes on this list, or the top 8 episodes, are all gonna be in the top 2 tiers. So let's continue. In 8th place, now this is a pretty big jump. In 8th place with 273 points. Remember, 9th place only had 148 points. So in 8th place with 273 points, we have chapter 11, The Heiress. I think this episode will mean a lot for a lot of people because it's really the first time we got I know we got Saw Gerrera as the first animation to live action character, but that one didn't really feel like it. Bo-Katan really is the first live action or animation to live action character we've seen, and it was great. It was a fun episode too, and I just had a good time with it. In 7th place with 278 points, so barely above 8th place, we have chapter 3, The Sin. This episode is it's probably one of the most important episodes in the series, because if you don't buy the relationship between Mando and Baby Yoda, then this episode is just not going to work. So this episode is in 7th place. In 6th place, with 311 points, we have chapter 15, The Believer. I was a little harsher on this episode when it first came out, but over time I've really grown to appreciate it, especially Bill Burr's acting. That scene was genuinely amazing, and I can rewatch this episode a lot, and I really love the episode. So yeah, chapter 15 is in 6th place. In 5th place, with 351 points, we have chapter 14, The Tragedy. I feel like this episode really surprised a lot of people, because based off of the series, we kind of expected it to be a filler episode, but it wasn't. It was really important, and we got the first Boba Fett action we've really seen. I'm not a big Boba Fett fan, but it meant a lot to a lot of people, and it was cool seeing it. So yeah, this is in 5th place. In 4th place, with 390 points, we have chapter 9, The Marshal. Now this one's a weird episode for me. I don't know why I love it so much per se. Oh my god. This episode is a lot of fun. It just makes me, I don't know, I love Cobb Vanth. Is that weird to say? I love Cobb Vanth. I wish we get more. I hope we get more of him. I'll be really upset if we don't. He was just a great character, and I miss him. So that is the second to top tier. We are now in the top 3 episodes, which are all in the top tier. So in 3rd place, with 477 points, we have chapter 13. We have chapter 13, The Jedi. I think this episode just meant a lot to us. You know, seeing Ahsoka in live action. It was great. You know, we all love Ahsoka. Seeing her come from this annoying kid to where she is now is a great journey, and I think it's a big reason why a lot of us loved it. But even if it wasn't Ahsoka, it was just some random Jedi, it's still a pretty good episode. So yeah, this is why it is in 3rd place. In 2nd place, now we have the 2 finales left. In 2nd place, with 516 points, we have chapter 8, which is called Redemption. This is a great finale. I would say it's the best finale, but it's not. It was a great finale. Seeing IG-88's arc kind of conclude, seeing Mando's hatred towards the droids conclude was great. It's just a great episode, but it's a shame it's beat out by 1st place, which is chapter 16, The Rescue, which is currently listed as one of the best episodes in TV history on IMDb. I mean, for a lot of people, seeing Luke was what made it special, but for me, it was the goodbye between Mando and Baby Yoda. And of the 112 votes, 52 of them had chapter 16 in 1st place. By the way, I had a point total of 723, which is more than 200 points more than chapter 8, which is in 2nd place. So yeah, just to go through the final ranking again, in 16th place, we have chapter 5. In 15th place, we have chapter 10. This is kind of hard to remember. In 14th place, we have chapter 4. In 13th place, we have chapter 2. In 12th place, we have chapter 12. In 11th place, we have chapter 6. In 10th place, we have chapter 7. In 9th place, we have chapter 1. In 8th place, we have chapter 11. In 7th place, we have chapter 3. In 6th place, we have chapter 15. In 5th place, we have chapter 14. In 4th place, we have chapter 9. In 3rd place, we have chapter 13. In second place, we have chapter 8, and in first place, we have chapter 16. By the way, I'm gonna reveal the point totals for each episode right here, so you can see the spread and see how many votes each episode got and in which place it got those votes. So again, so those are the final point totals for the ranking of The Mandalorian according to the 112 people that voted in this poll. Thank you everyone so much for tuning in. By the way, I'm doing another poll right now, which is voting for your new favorite upcoming shows, which ones you're anticipating the most. So vote for that if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget to unite the Cloud Squad, and I'll see you guys next time.